So this is a basic waterfall. You can see how it took out this whole level right here. That's where I went short. And I like when it comes up and rejects a level right around here, this 61.8 fib gets capped by this 5-minute moving average. We'll move right on down from there. If I were to take, let's see, this top and move it to the bottom of that, you could see that it's probably right at the 23 about. It's right about there. So it comes up right around the 23, it's going to come right back down. So this right here is a good amount. And you see that has a pretty big potential to go to the downside, although I would sort of cap it probably around that area. Mind you, that's a lot of ticks. That's a lot of points. Yeah, from about this area downward. Yeah, that's a third, yeah, 322 or 322. Mind you, this is gold, so that's a huge movement. I mean, already you could see on a 1.0 standard for gold, we're at 125, 126, and barely been in the trade. So just to zoom back in on it, it's now going to come back down right to that spot. When it does, and presumably breaks it, I may either do one or two things. I may just take it, do something else with it, or take half of it. Take maybe $50 and then just see what it does. Or I could put a stop right under it, but I want to see if it breaks it. If it does, I might put another sell in. You could already see the MACD getting pretty extended, and you could see how there's a nice, I always like to see these nice 3 trend humps right there on the stochastic, so there could be a 4th one. Let's see, it'll come down to here. That's a great play in itself. You can get it up to here, it retraces. So it's going to bounce off, or it'll continue going. So at 137, 135, that could be a good day right there. Or you could watch it come back up, come back around again. We just had a 15-minute bar come in. And you could see that it did try and reach the 23 here, but or the 10 moving average. But again, the MACD is getting a little overextended, so this is the area of the first thought is, what's my potential gain? My potential gain was, if this breaks here, I'm looking already at how many pips here, or points, 109 ticks, I guess. Now, since that opened above the 10 moving average, I'm going to wait to see what this does. So usually when it does open above a moving average, it'll continue in that direction. But since it's a minute chart, I'll give it a few more minutes. They're sort of converging right now, these two. And that opened below the 10. So I'm going to see what it looks like on another time frame, the 5-minute. Okay, so with that being gone now, it's sort of flattened out. When that flattens out, it starts to come to a curve right here. One or two things can happen. You see how there's a spike right there off of my stochastics. So, right around here, I might look to take profit. If I can get another leg down, this will be the deciding candle, what I do. And I'm going to go ahead and take the $98 profit or so. So that's a quick trade that you can do over and over and over again, because you can just keep drawing retracements. It's really from about here to here. You'll see that it'll come always, usually around, and will keep coming down. So when you see something drop and then come up a little bit, that's your time to get in. On the 5-minute or 15-minute, you can see it's just starting on that MACD. So that was these are very quick trades. That's just a quick example of a Fibonacci retracement trade. If I were to double down at that point, where I got in, where I got out, was a good one. But let's say at this point, for instance, I'll let it go up to the 50 this time, or touch the 50, and I'll sell again. And I can keep doing this. Watch. And this is gold, not just, anything else. It's some operational risk right here. But, we could go here. New trade. Well, that's interesting. I've never seen that happen. I'm going to put my trade in. And you see how it bounces right off that 38. You do something like this. That's a sell stop at a 0.01 just to demonstrate it. So as it comes in, it'll stop myself into the trade. If not, it'll continue upwards. But these are really confusing for people. You say, all right, look, it goes all the way down. I get that. And it comes straight up. It's not going right back to where it was again to chop around. It'll come down and make a pretty nice movement right here. It'll touch one of the fibs around the 50, 23 to 50 usually. Or, well, in this case was kind of, you could see there's a big wick. So for right here, came back down. This will probably, as this stochastics comes, that'll probably bring it right back down. Still want to know why can't trade right there, but that's a good thing sometimes to put a stop to stop yourself into a trade, because if it is going back up, it has a lot of challenges, and I don't really want to deal with that. So I might take my $98 profit, cancel this trade, and be done with it, and go ahead and manage some other parts of my trade. Like, isn't that interesting? I can't get past the 38. I'll come back and check on this, but let's take a look at NZD JPY. This was a long-term sell that I had. On the 15-minute, you could see that this is probably wants to stay with this trend and come back around. So I'll probably make a movement like this. So this is a perfect, again, retracement. And how far this will go up, down, not exactly sure. It did it did come up as a higher high than this high right here, which makes me not want to be a current seller of this. So what I might do is I'll just go ahead and take out my win for right now. The rest of them are long terms. So, those have to do with weeklies. I was really looking at a long term of silver. I like silver. I was playing options with this. This is great. I'm probably going to buy a long term into silver. This is in the 4 hour, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to buy this. You could say, well, this is almost perfect. Passed right up of the 38, 23 to the 38. This is easy. So to set this up, buy stop, and then I would modify it. Modify. These are all of my XAU USDs. Well, anyways, I'm going to modify this. There should be a stop and a take profit. Well, my stop would be somewhere around here, and my take profit would be somewhere up here. Sometimes you have operational errors, but that's, you know, that's life. But I would see this probably come up and through. When this started to rise up, and I could say that pretty confidently it'll rise. I'm not sure about the leverage on this. You know, options are always a good play. Buying calls on this, and you know, so you have 2 months for this to be higher than where it is right now. At any time is a pretty good bet. You know, I'll take that any day. So for now, it's kind of playing with fibs for upward targets and downward retracements. And if I go back to XAU, USD, gold, you could see what I mean with this. This came right up to the 50 area, and this will probably come right back down to here. This is pretty much exactly what you want. To come up, form a line, and then to put an order in right about here. And take profit, again, probably right about there. And just keep doing that over and over and over again. Just like I did. $200, $300 ones like that, and done for the day. The rest of them are managing your long terms, and then you have some short term scalps. Medium term ones are like, I gotta go walk the dog, or I gotta go check the mail, or you could put a stop and a take profit on there. You should be winning 7 out of 10. If not, there's a problem with your checklist somewhere. But yeah, you can find these all day long. This will come back down now, and that'll be that. At least to here, you don't have to be greedy with it. You could be like, all right, well, if you have a stochastic pulling down here, you can have a MACD kind of bouncing off of zero. So all your indicators, you have a retracement right here. It's pretty much a done deal. So that's pretty much retracements today. Any questions? You can book a live demo at teachingcurrencytrading.com. This is Dan, and hope to see some of you soon. All right, take care.